Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back class 7th in your physics class. As you all know that we have finished the explanation of chapter 6, that is sound, in the previous class. So today we'll do the question answer part. Okay students, let's start. Take out your book and pencils. Question number 1, short answer question. First is, how do we produce sound? Explain briefly. So the answer is on page number 79. Under the heading, sound is produced due to vibrations. So start under the heading, start from the first line. When you plug the string of a guitar, you notice that the string start moving back and forth rapidly. This rapid back and forth movement of an object about its mean position is called vibration. When the strings of a guitar vibrates, a sound is produced. When the strings stop vibrating, no sound is produced. The sound is produced by vibrating object, or we can say only vibrating objects produce sound. So you have to write till here. This is your short answer number 1. Now the second question, what are longitudinal waves? So the answer is on page number 84. Here the paragraph, you can see here, I have marked here the first line of the paragraph. The disturbance created at one end generates waves in the slinky that travel in the form of compression and rarefactions. Such waves are called longitudinal waves. So this is your short answer number 2. Now the third question, what is the difference between infrasounds and ultrasound? Can we hear them? So the answer is on page number 85. First you write the difference between infrasound and ultrasound. So first you will write the heading infrasound. Under the heading you will write down the definition, that is, infrasonic sounds or infrasounds are the sounds that have frequency less than 20 Hz. All the objects that oscillate less than 20 times in 1 second produce infrasonic sound. Then from the new line you will write the heading ultrasonic sound, and you will write the definition of this. Ultrasonic sound or ultrasounds are the sounds that have frequency greater than 20,000 Hz. These are very high frequency waves, sound produced by all the objects that oscillates more than 20,000 times in 1 second produce ultrasonic sound. And the next part is, can we hear them? So the answer is no. So you will write no, we cannot hear both infrasonic and ultrasonic sounds. Okay, what you will write? You will write no, we cannot hear both infrasonic and ultrasonic sounds. Your answer is finished. Now question number 4. Question number 4. How does a bat make use of ultrasonic waves to find its? The answer is on page number 85 under the heading use of ultrasonic sounds by bats. So you will start from the first line. Bats have very poor vision. In spite of this, they can fly at full speed without striking any obstacle. This is done by the bats using ultrasonic sound. Then you will write, then come to the third line from here, during its flight. Then you will start from here. During its flight, bat emits ultrasonic sound wave. When any prey or obstacle comes in its way, these sound waves reflect back on striking the prey or obstacle. These reflected waves are detected by the waves as an echo. So this is your short answer number 4. Question number 5. The sound of thunder is heard after the lightning seen during a thunderstorm. Why? So your answer is, first take from the question, the sound of thunder is heard after the lightning seen during a thunderstorm because, come to page number 88. The answer is on under the heading speed of sound. You start from because. Okay, so because light travels faster than the sound in air. Speed of light in air is million times greater than the speed of sound in air. This is your short answer number 5. Now come to long answer questions. Question number 1. Describe an experiment to show that sound is produced by a vibrating object. So the answer is on page number 79. This activity, you will write the whole activity, the activity 1. Along with, you will draw a diagram also, which is in activity 1. Okay, so you will write the whole activity and you will draw a diagram also. So this is your answer, long answer number 1. Now come to the next question. Question number 2. Can sound travel through a vacuum? Describe an experiment to justify your answer. So first you will write, no, sound cannot travel through a vacuum. The answer of this first part, can sound travel through a vacuum? So your answer is, no, sound cannot travel through a vacuum. Then you have to describe, you have to justify this with the help of an experiment. So for this, you come to page number 82 and this activity 3 which I have marked here, you have to write this whole activity along with the diagram. Okay, then the next question is question number 3. Show with the help of activities that sound can travel through solids and liquids. So here you have to give 2 activities to show that sound can travel through solids and liquids. So first we give an activity. Come to the page number 83. This activity 5, this activity shows that sound can travel through solid. So in your answer you will write activity 1. Okay, so this is your activity 1. This activity shows that the sound can travel through solid. And then the activity 6, this activity 6 shows that sound can travel through liquids, but in your copies you will write activity 2. Okay, so this is your long answer question number 3. And remember children, don't forget to draw, you have to draw a diagram, okay, along with the activity. Then question number 4. Explain the characteristics of sound. On what factors do these characteristics depends? So the answer is on page number 86. First, under the heading characteristics of sound. So you will write from here, that there are two characteristics of sound, one loudness, then second pitch. Then from the new line you will define what is loudness. So you will give heading loudness, and then you will write loudness is the characteristic of sound by which a loud sound can be distinguished from a soft sound. Then you will define the pitch. So the definition of pitch is on page number 87. Under the heading pitch, you will write pitch is the characteristic of sound by which a shrill sound can be distinguished from a flat sound or grave sound. Okay, then from the new line you will write the factors on which the characteristic depend. So you will write, then again come to page number 88 under the heading loudness. The second in the second paragraph you will write the loudness of a sound depends upon the amplitude of vibration of a vibrating object. Larger the amplitude, louder is the sound produced, and vice versa. Then come to page number 87, the second paragraph under the heading pitch. The pitch of a sound depends upon the frequency of the vibrating object. These are the two factors on which the sound, the characteristic of the sound depends. Okay. Now the next question. Question number 5. Explain with the help of activities that the pitch of sound increases with the increase in frequency and decrease in the length of vibrating ear column. So here also you have to give the activities. So come to page number 87. Here the two activities, activity 7 and activity 8. These activities you have to write in the copy, but when you write in the copy you will mark activity 7 as activity 1 and activity 8 as activity 2, and you will write both the activities in your copy. Okay student, this question answer part is finished. Do these question answers in your copy. Okay students.